So Keke Palmer basically interviewed Olandria and Chelley, and I'm just gonna give like cliff notes on what happened as well, and then also my opinions as well. So So the first thing they talked about is that about the mental health side of stuff. So they said that once they leave the villa, they do get a therapist to talk through all their emotions and all this other stuff. And I thought, okay, that's really good of them because obviously there's been an issue in the UK Love Island. Obviously there's no islanders from the US that have taken their life due to the mental health and stuff. But in the UK, there's been about 3 or 4 incidents where they do leave the villa, they do get some type of mental health support, but they still end up unaliving themselves. I'm also very glad they did basically touch on the Buzzfeed thing as well, because if people aren't aware, basically Buzzfeed made a post on their social media page and basically said that Chelley deserves a knuckle sandwich, basically trying to incite violence on a black woman. I can't understand why, and nothing that she did warrants people saying that she deserves to get punched in the face. Didn't make any sense. And she basically said that yeah, she did see that as well, and it made her uncomfortable. And I'm glad she spoke out about it because Buzzfeed tried to brush it under the rug. They deleted their apology as well, haven't held themselves accountable at all, and thought people were just going to skate over it. No, you're a loser for that. So I'm glad that Chelley also in the interview dismissed the mean girl allegations, because obviously Keke asked her about this, and I feel like this narrative gets painted a lot on black women as well. As soon as they speak out or they're voicing their opinion compared to their white counterparts, it's oh, she's aggressive, oh, she's angry, oh, she's this, when she could be passionate about something, and they're labeling it as negative stuff and having negative connotations to it. So just a pointer for this interview as well, I believe that it should have been 2 separate interviews because there was a lot of stuff that weren't covered as well. So with this interview, they had Alandrea and Chelley there, but I feel like if they did 2 separate stuff, we'd get more information in regards to what was going on in their villa experience and also outside as well. So Chelley did mention as well that she was originally meant to be on season 6 of Love Island with Leah, Janae, Serena, Cordell, and all of them, but she turned it down. And then obviously for season 7, she basically said before she went on there, she basically reviewed season 6 and watched it all, and then obviously she went on season 7, and she said that she wanted to be she never wanted to be a Casa girl, and she hoped that she was never going to be a Casa girl. She wanted to be an OG. Then in regards to Alandria's experience with Love Island contacting her, she said that they contacted her in 2023 originally, then they contacted her in 2024, so she was meant to be on season 6. Then they contacted her again, and she was like, you know what, why not I just go on there and try something different out and see how it goes. So that's why she was on the cast as well, and I feel like that was best suited for her. So Chelley did explain that, I don't know why this is looking like that, but yeah, Chelley did explain basically that she was actually interested in Austin. I am happy that she, basically, not that she's not interested in Austin, but I believe that it didn't work out. I hope it didn't work out anyway, because he is a Trump supporter and a racist as well. So I'm glad that she didn't have to deal with that as well, because imagine the heartbreak afterwards if she didn't go with Ace and she chose Austin, that racist, and, breaking up with him, whatever else it is. And also him talking badly. I'm not sure if Shelley's Haitian or something, and he was reposting racist rhetoric online, but yeah. And also Chelley was dispelling the issues about her knowing Ace outside the villa, outside of that interaction they did explain on the show where Ace saw her in New York or whatever it was, outside a club and something, and then they went about their day. She also said that she knows Amaya as well, and she knew Andrina, basically from the show. I don't know how she knew Andrina, but I think Amaya also pointed out in her interview with Call Me Daddy, or a different one that she had, that she knew Chelley beforehand because they ran in the same industry in regards to the modelling side of stuff. And they also touch on Taylor as well. They didn't really go too much in depth with that situation, but that's fine. So they basically explained that Chelley and everyone else basically was shocked that Taylor brought back Clark, because obviously the way he was acting and stuff, it wasn't caught on camera in regards to his behaviour and stuff. And then Alandrea talked about how his etiquette was, like he'll be making everyone breakfast, lunch and whatever else and stuff, and having their coffee order, all this other stuff, very polite and whatever. So when this all came out now, it kind of like shook everyone up. That's why everyone was kind of shouting and confused. So Alandrea explains that she wouldn't have been going so hard for Taylor if she knew that he wasn't physically attracted to her, because who the hell is he to be saying that to her in a sense? And she knows what she is, and she's a bad bee and whatever. So if he had expressed that to her, she would have not wasted all her time, or not wasted all her time, but like wasted so much time on him, especially when he's telling her one thing to her face and to other islanders, then he's obviously confessing to Ace privately that he's not physically attracted to her. It was very, very weird. And she also mentioned about the Nicolandria thing. So she said basically that she ignored her feelings for Nick, even though there was some type of chemistry there that was building up between them, because Sierra had expressed to her before, I think she got eliminated and stuff, that she was worried about Nick and the Casa situation when they went to Casa Amor and stuff. So she kind of just put that on the back burner because she was being loyal to Sierra. And it's funny as well, because was Sierra being loyal to Alandrea when she was choosing to keep Taylor in the villa, which was dumb, and then try to use the excuse, oh, it's because I'm backing Nick, you're a loser. Then also when Alandrea addressed that, basically since being outside the villa, she feels like she's getting a lot of pressure from the media to basically like hurry along her relationship with Nick as well, but she's a slow burner, and Nick is obviously there reassuring her that they don't need to rush it, they can still take not baby steps but like the steps that they were taking out in the villa, they can still take outside the villa as well, so there's not too much pressure as well, and see how it goes. They did ask though if Sierra had reached out to Nick, and I think they confirmed that she never reached out to Nick after he got out of the villa, or even before the villa, like if she had sent a message or something. But I believe that Nick still owes Sierra a conversation and an apology as well for how this was poorly handled in regards to like everything that played out. People may disagree with me, but I feel like they were very close, even though they had like their rocky parts and stuff and whatever. He was very certain about going with her, even though he had feelings for Alandrea as well and stuff, but it's like he definitely owed her a conversation, because the way this played out, outside of Sierra saying the racial slur and stuff, I just mean their interaction and stuff in the villa. And also, hopefully she gets to the reunion, but it's not been confirmed if Sierra's actually going to a reunion. I don't believe she will go to a reunion just because she said the racial slur to a specific community. And when Yulisa, I think her name was, did the same thing, for instance, when she was using the N-word, or they found out she was using the N-word, obviously she's not going to be invited back. And the same thing happened with people at the reunion, not reunion, sorry, previous seasons as well, when people show racial hate or whatever, they never get invited back. So I doubt that Sierra's going to have her chance or time of day. So that's why she's probably promoting her YouTube so much, because she'll do a Q&A there explaining everything. Also, the reason why I was saying that I feel like the interview should have been two separate interviews, because they didn't cover a lot of stuff as well. For instance, I wanted Keke to talk about Olandria and Jalen's connection. Even though it was shortly lived, I wanted to know more about it, because obviously we saw certain scenes in there, but we didn't see a lot as well. I also wanted them to talk about more of Chris and Chelley's relationship, even though we didn't. They talked briefly about it, but it wasn't in depth. And I feel like if we had got separate interviews, they would have gone in further depth about certain stuff that we didn't see on camera, that maybe the audience needed to see, or maybe more context, that would be provided there. Because I really wanted to know about the Jalen situation myself, because obviously he's been on live multiple times talking about it, and obviously now he stopped because he's getting tired of it now. But it's like, I want to know what's going on, or if, you know, I don't know. The thing as well is that I wish Keke out. This is why I'm also advocating for the separate interviews, because we didn't know what in regards to their background. I know that they mentioned about their past and everything like that, but I feel like it would have been better for us to have more in depth about like who they were before the villa, what their plans are after the villa. Because obviously some people may want to be an influencer, yeah, but they may want to take a different route. Like for instance, Cordell, he obviously is doing the commercials, doing the partnership deals, and doing the brand deals, but he also wants to basically, I think, like become an actor and stuff. So it's like, I wanted to know what they actually had planned, because this is their first interview, and it seems like they didn't really explain much. Obviously the biggest thing that's coming up for a lot of them is the reunion, but outside that, I want to know what else they have planned and stuff. Even though we know that Alandrea's in talks with NYX Cosmetics about the lip line, or whatever it is, and obviously Chelley probably will get like a hair deal or some other sort of commercials as well. So it's like, I just really want to know if they're in talks with people, or of what they plan to do with their newfound fame. He also addressed Hurricane Huda as well, and said basically that Huda also agreed with Chelley and the rest of the islanders that she did take it too far on the heart rate challenge with Ace. So when people are complaining or like, oh, you know, it wasn't that deep, and this is why I say Huda is also a hypocrite as well, because she's acting like it's not that deep when she went to the Call Her Daddy podcast thing, and she did say she apologized there, but then she tried to downplay it or dismiss it as well. But there was obviously certain scenes that we didn't see that was played out there. Also, Chelley does claim during this interview, bear in mind this is before the Call Her Daddy podcast that Huda went on, she claimed that her and Huda were good anyway, and there was no bad blood or anything between them. Also talk about Huda's case with CPS. We all know that CPS thing was false, and it never really happened as well, but they basically said that it's wrong that people are doing that as well, and taking everything basically and trying to ruin people's lives for the sake of it, and that, you know, it shouldn't be taken that people should be supporting them rather than spreading hate. Keke mainly talks about this, but they do highlight Huda weaponizing her tears as well, when for instance Alandrea told Huda not to do that, when Huda had like that pick me moment where she was saying certain stuff at the I don't know if they were getting chosen or whatever the case was, when they were having the recoupling or something, and obviously Huda was crying a lot, and they do mention that as well. Then Alandrea also talks about how she felt in the villa, how she was the mom and the therapist, whatever, so when she comes outside now of the villa, she feels like it's a bit weird that they're trying to paint her as a villain and an evil person, all this other stuff. Also mentioned that Sierra reached out to Chelley after leaving the villa. Alandrea said that she hasn't checked her DMs to know if Sierra reached out to her either. And they also asked them for the top 3 people that they believe is good kissers. Alandrea doesn't put Taylor in that bracket at all. She mentions, I think she mentions Nick first, then Jeremiah, then I think I forgot the third person, but yeah.